impact do you expect the Abramovich sanctions to have on your game at Stanford Bridge on Sunday?
I'm only going to answer in terms of a football question. I don't think it will have any bearing on Chelsea and how they play. And for us, you can't change our preparation in any way. I'll be watching Chelsea historically and trying to build a game plan to try and go there to win. So I don't expect anything on the pitch really to be any different.
And just a quick follow-up on that, do you expect it to have any impact on the wider competition?
Difficult to know. I mean, any comment that I give you in that would be a guess, and it's pointless me doing that. So I'll sort of not give you an answer on that one.
I don't know how far back in history you're going when you watch Chelsea games, but if you go far back, you'll find that you've won there 3 times out of 5 as a manager with Bournemouth. What memories does going to Stanford Bridge hold for you as a manager?
Yeah, I think it's a very special place to play football. I think I've enjoyed 3 of those games of the 5. I didn't enjoy the other 2 very much. But it is a very special place to play. I think we've enjoyed our encounters there. They have top players. The stadium's quite close to the pitch. There's a really good atmosphere. They've got a top manager as well. I've got a huge amount of respect for Thomas. I think he's done an incredible job. So we're going to need to be at our very, very best at a stadium where we know the size of the task. It is an incredibly difficult ground to get anything from. I think every time we have with Bournemouth, we got everything right, and it's that kind of game. You need to get everything right, or you won't get anything from it.
You beat Mourinho, Conte, Sarri, and Lampard. What different challenge will try to beat Tuchel pose you?
Yeah, I think they are slightly different now. They play a similar system to previous managers that they've had there, but I think it's a slightly different way. Very, very intricate in their build-up play, very possession-based. They've got a huge amount of technical quality in their team. That's why our defensive structure is going to need to be very, very good. Our organisation is going to have to be of the highest level. So we've got a very short time to prepare the team for this. Probably 1 day's training. So it's going to be difficult how much information we can get into the players and how we prepare, but we're trying to do that to the best of our ability.
Okay, Miles?
Dan Burns made a contribution at both ends of the pitch tonight. It's no secret the club was looking at some other centre-halves, some more expensive centre-halves. How pleased are you that it was actually Dan Burn that you got through the door in January?
Yeah, Dan's someone that I've liked for many, many years. I think every time we played Brighton, regardless of his position, because he did change whether they played a back 4 or back 5, he was sometimes centre half, wing back, left back in a 4. He gave us problems, whether it be his physicality or his technical ability. So he's someone that we've really, really liked, and I like him even more now for having worked with him, because I think you then see the person behind the player as well. And what a guy, he's come in very calmly and brought a leadership to the group, but also behind that, how much it means for him to play for Newcastle, having supported them as a kid and gone to games with his dad and been through that experience. It means the world to him to play for this club. So I think it's been a brilliant transfer for us so far and for him.
Got to Jordan and then Scott.
Will you rotate against Chelsea? We've seen Sean Longstaff and Miguel Armand come off the bench. Could they potentially start given the game there's only 3 days?
Yeah, I think everyone in our squad is in contention to play. I think we will let the dust settle from this game. We'll see how we are physically. Some very tired bodies in the changing room. Bit of cramp in the squad with a couple of players as well. So we're going to have to be physically good against Chelsea. So we might have to rotate. We'll see and take it on an individual basis.
Scott Wilson.
Eddie, you had that run of games over Christmas time against the big boys, if you like, City, Liverpool, but it was at a time when it kind of felt like just getting the team out was an achievement, really, with all the players that were missing and everything that was going on. Does it feel good now to be going into at least this game with a much fitter squad, an upbeat squad, where maybe you'll get the chance to see how they can actually handle themselves against one of the real top teams? Because it felt over Christmas that you didn't really get the chance to see that properly.
Yeah, Christmas time was a difficult one. I think we were stretched in numerous areas. I'd say we're in a similar position now, in the sense that we are stretched. You look at the players we're missing tonight: Wilson, Trippier, St Maximin, Joelinton, Fernandes. There's a big group of players there that will make a difference for us. But I think what you've seen is a real resilience in the squad. So players have come in, had an opportunity and really grabbed it. And that's great for the group, because when we get the strength back, there's going to be a real fight for places, and that's what we're going to need. So it will be good to see us, a team in form, playing obviously one of the hardest games we'll have this season. It'll be good to see how we match up and how we deliver, hopefully, the performance we want.
Just front left.
Obviously, very different scenarios, but you have been in charge of a club where there has been financial uncertainty in the background. What advice would you give Thomas Tuchel to take the players' minds off the off-field uncertainty? How did you manage that?
I'm not going to give Thomas Tuchel any advice. Absolutely not. It's the other way around. I won't be dishing any out.
Front right.
Eddie, you're on the crest of a wave at the minute, obviously in this role. Just give us a reflection on how much you've embraced it, learned from it, and how much you've learned about yourself and your staff since stepping in and taking on this job. Yeah,
it's a huge challenge. I mean, we walked into eyes wide open, but a massive, massive club. But we were in a very, very difficult position and still are. So learning every day, loving the challenge, trying to embrace that as much as I can. I think the staff that I've had with me have been incredible. I think they've done a brilliant job, and that's everyone. That's staff that I took with me and the staff that I inherited. I love everyone at the club. And hopefully we can go on a really, really good journey together and enjoy ourselves. But it's very difficult to enjoy the battle that you have at the bottom of the league. So we want to try and get our heads above water as quickly as possible.
Chris Waff and then Tom Barkley. Chris?
Eddie, there's a 17-day gap after 16, 17-day gap after Thursday's game. Have you decided what's going to happen during that time? Are you going to let players some time off? Are you going to go away to get that from the training camp?
Yeah, we might well go away. We're looking at taking the group somewhere to build really on what we did in Saudi, which was a really, really good few days for us. I think it really did unite the squad. I think the players felt that, came back, and the results were very strong and the spirit was very good off the back of that. So we'll look at doing something similar.
Tom?
Eddie, over the course of your managerial career, you've often studied other managers. I seem to remember you going to see Maurizio Sarri when he was out in Italy. Have you ever spent any time with Thomas Tuchel, or particularly during your time out of the game, were you studying him, trying to learn anything off him?
Yeah, he's a manager I've studied, I've met, I've spoke with. And that's why I say I've got a lot of respect for him. I really, really like him as a person. I think he's a really, really good guy. And I respect his work hugely. I think the jobs that he's done at the different clubs, huge clubs and difficult challenges. I think the way he settled in at Chelsea was hugely impressive, because it's not easy to come abroad and make this your home and be successful on a consistent basis like Chelsea are. So full compliments to him and his staff.
Is there anything you've learned from him in particular when you say you've studied?
Yeah, there is, but I always think with these things they're better kept in my head rather than talking too much about it.
Any further questions? At the back, Kieran?
Eddie, sometimes there was a culture previously maybe in Newcastle where games like this were seen maybe a bit of a free hit. How have you kind of changed maybe that mentality of you go into every game focusing on what Newcastle can do to the other teams regardless of whether they're top three or bottom?
I think your preparation's key. I think we've tried to be very consistent with how we prepare. I think that's helped us. So we will be the same, regardless of the opposition. I think there's certain things we need to do well against any opponent. I don't think that really changes. So, as I say, we will have our way of preparing. We will do that to the best of our ability, and hopefully we produce a good performance. I think these games aren't a free hit. I've learned historically that you need to pick up points against every type of team. So we'll endeavour to do our best to do that.